Hi, everyone. It's your girl, Grace, also known as Jonna. So, I've got some great questions for you all tonight. And thank y'all so much for welcoming my special guest from last time. I'm going to show y'all what story time looks like at the end, but welcome to Conversations with Grace, where we inspire you, we uplift you, we empower you, and we bring you out of the darkness into God's marvelous light. So today, we're going to go ahead, I'm sorry, tonight we're going to go ahead and get started with topic. The topics of tonight, and then we got a few questions that are like generally kind of the same. But let's get straight into it, guys or gals. The first question is about surviving a toxic marriage. The question is, I am a survivor, but my marriage has been on constant battle. It has been a constant battle. With a heavy heart, I've decided to seek a divorce and start a new chapter in my life. How can I cope with this transition? Okay, so let us see if she had anything else that she wanted to add. Let's see. Okay, so she says, I'm a survivor, but my marriage has been a constant battle. My husband has consistently shirked his responsibilities as a parent, leaving me to bear the burden alone. The lack of support from him and our family has been traumatic and stressful, taking a toll on my mental and emotional well being. Despite my efforts to hold on, I've come to realize that I can't continue like this. With a heavy heart, I've made the difficult decision to seek a divorce and start a new chapter in my life, free from toxicity and neglect that has defined my marriage. That's awful. I would love to understand more about the dynamics of this type of neglect. I wonder, is your husband neglectful because he works a lot? Um, I completely understand these things. Look, the thing about marriage, and I would suggest this to anybody, you got to pray through certain things. You got to pray through it, because that is the only way you can really get through certain stuff. Like, you got to get strength from the Lord. That's what I do. And a marriage is, it's supposed to be forever, right? Unless there's infidelity or something like that. But your husband has been neglecting you, and it doesn't seem like he's wanted to change. How can you cope with this transition? I wonder, how is it going to affect your children, right? You've been talking about neglect. So, and I'm not saying to stay, you make that choice on your own. But when you think about the fact that you'll get a divorce, right? And you'll kind of, I'm not going to say you're ripping the family apart. He is the a part of the reason why the family is not together. If he's neglecting you, I'm pretty sure he's neglecting the children as well. So you gotta think about it, right? How is that going to affect your children? How old are your children? You know, I don't know how long you have been trying to work this out. I just know that sometimes, like, say if it's a constant battle, and I've had to go through certain things like this as well, but I realized the way I was battling was the wrong way. And that's why I was not winning, right? That's why I was not winning, because I was fighting for my marriage in the wrong manner. But if you've already decided that you are going to divorce your husband, then accept it. The best way to cope with something is accept the fact that that's what you're going to do. Don't live in the regret. Be okay if your children are angry with you. Okay? Be okay with your decision, because once it's made, unless he wants, unless he is open to anything else, if you have any regrets, then it's done, right? I'm not sure what you believe in, but I know that there are ways to get through things like this. But you need a support group, okay? A support group with women who are going through the same thing that you're going through, so that you can have someone you can call on to when you need advice, have a listening ear who will give you the emotional support that you need in order to walk you through this. I always recommend support. I always recommend support. I have a prayer group. I don't share every intimate detail of my life, but when I need prayer to help me get through something, I got women who will pray for me. I'm serious. And sometimes they don't know specifically what they're praying about, but they pray for me as I request it. And those prayers help me get through very difficult times. And it's not even just, challenges in my marriage, it's just throughout life. And so the next question is pertaining to dealing with alcohol and relationships. So the question is, how can I handle a man who drinks alcohol excessively? So let's see if there was anything else. Well, no, see, there was nothing else really with this one. But how can you handle a man? I wouldn't be handling no man who drink alcohol excessively. Why are you attracted to someone who gets drunk? Why are you, I would be asking myself about what attracts me to somebody who gets sloppy drunk, who can't even control himself, who lacks self-discipline. Is that really someone who you want to be in contact with? And then it seems like you do. So I would be asking myself, why do I want to be with somebody who lacks self-control in that manner? Because that's dangerous. Someone who does not live a sober life, someone who is out of his mind and he's okay with it. That's dangerous. And so how can you handle a man? You can't. You can't handle a man who drinks alcohol excessively, because he can't even handle himself. That's what I'm going to say to that one. Next question is about communicating the need for a break. And the question is, how do I tell him I need a break when he doesn't understand what I want or need despite my efforts to communicate? All right, let's see what else you put with this one. I think it's pretty much, it says, how do I tell him I need a break? And he is really not understanding what I want or need, even though I try to communicate with him. How do you tell him that you need a break? You just say, hey, I need a break. You didn't even tell me what type of break you were talking about. And so you need to be very clear, whatever type of break you're talking about. What do you want to break from talking on the phone? Do you want to break from your relationship? You need to be specific. And even when you asked me this question, you were not specific. Sometimes you might, I would say write it down, but you wrote this question down and it lacked a lot of information. You need a break from what? I would just tell him and vocally, hey, such and such, I really enjoy spending time with you. However, I'm feeling very overwhelmed right now, so I need a break. I tell my husband I need a break. Now, I'm not talking about a break from my marriage, but I might tell him if I'm feeling overwhelmed. So, for instance, sometimes he goes out of town for work for about maybe 3 to 5 days, sometimes even a week. When he come back in town, I say, I need a break. I even have my Date Yourself Tuesdays. I need a break, okay? I need to go get my nails done, get my hair done. I need to go out to eat by myself. I need a break. I need some time to myself. I say that. And so I just vocalize it. I don't, and sometimes, just in case somebody forget that I said I needed a break, sometimes I'll also send a text message so I can have proof of me actually letting you know in advance that I need a break. But just, be clear especially be clear on what type of break you're talking about. Okay. And so the next question is pertaining to setting boundaries. And we've got two questions like this. The question is, what should I accept and not accept in a relationship? So that question was very broad, very vague. However, I would suggest for you to, create a checklist, right? Of um what you will accept in a relationship, what is acceptable, right? What are your expectations? You are the one who determines your expectations. I don't determine your expectations. So you have to sit down and evaluate what it is that you want in a relationship, what it is that you want in a man, right? What are you looking for? What will you provide? Okay, bring to the table. Okay. So you set the expectations in your own relationship, and that person will either match up to it or not. I don't set those expectations, but I can definitely help you organize your expectations and then present it to the person who you are interested in having a relationship with. And so the next question is about, and this was really back to back. It was about non-traditional roles in relationships. I'm sorry, I was sleeping. I was going ahead of myself. Non-traditional roles in relationships. The question is, am I the only woman in a relationship that doesn't cook? Are there men who are okay with doing the cooking if I handle everything else? Look, um, that's a good question. I like that question. I'm gonna tell you why. But let's see. Yeah, okay, that was pretty much it. And you said I think you regret that you've made a lot of mistakes that you can't seem to redeem yourself of in your current relationship, and you regret not being better. That's so awful. You know, I know why you said that. I really do. Like, I don't know. You're not the only one who doesn't want to cook because I don't like cooking either, except when I get into it. But that's not something that I naturally just, oh, I just love to cook. No, that's not me. I don't love to cook. And so I understand why you said you regret not being better. No, that's not fair. You don't have the desire to cook. You don't have a natural talent of cooking. And so now you talking about you desire to be, I get it, but that's not fair. It's not. God know he didn't give you the talent to cook. He know he didn't give you the desire to cook. Some women have a natural desire and a natural talent and love for cooking. You don't, So I would suggest you think about, what do you have a love for? What do you enjoy doing? And there are some men who handle the cooking in relationships. I know it personally. I'm thinking of three men off tops. But men who are traditional, they want a woman to cook clean, have babies, and just, cater to their needs. So I would suggest that you find a man who loves you for you, who enjoys your talents, who balances you, right? If you know that you don't really like cooking like that, don't find a man who wants traditional values. There are men who don't care about stuff like that. There are men who love cooking and they don't want their woman in the kitchen at all. So, okay. So you're not the only one. However, I do have children. I gotta cook, but I might cook, some from scratch stuff from time to time, but that's not generally what I'm cooking. We're cooking to live over here, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry for you know how I do my glasses. It's just a piece, just a statement. But they were falling, so I had to keep pushing them up. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. This question is about maintaining relationships after a long break. So the question says, what is the best way to keep and maintain relationships when you've been out of the game for so long and know nothing about relationships with people? So let's see exactly what you said to go with that. You said, what is the best way to keep and maintain relationships when you have been out? Okay, that was pretty much it. When you've been out of the game, you don't know much. Okay. Ooh, Start slow. Start slow and don't think, I don't know if women still think this, but whenever you meet a man, oh, is that gonna be my husband? Oh, is this gonna be my forever? Don't go in thinking like that. Just going, getting to know people and just see what you can learn about them. Dating is really gaining information, right? Look at it as an opportunity to gain information about somebody. And then, if you, like I was talking about earlier, what type of information are you looking for, right? Write those things down. The person who meets the information that you want, you know what I mean? That might be the person who you might continue having a deeper relationship with. But because you have not dated in so long, you definitely, everybody should take it slow. But since it's fresh to you, I want you to do it the right way. Take it slow and look at your opportunity for dating as an just gain information about somebody. Gain information, okay? And then you will know if that information means anything because you would have prepared. You will sit down, you'll be like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. The more organized in your thoughts about what you want and what you don't want, the less time you waste. You'll be able to quickly filter out those who are for you and those who are not for you. hmm And so we will be going to the next question. Um, it is about um, finding the courage to leave a difficult marriage. Yeah. So courage gonna come when you know you need to leave it, right? You know you need to leave it. You know you need to leave it. The question says, how do you work up the courage to leave your husband when you can't talk to him and he has destructive habits that affect your mental and physical health? You know, let's go into this. You said, how do you work up the courage to leave your husband? You've been married for 13 years and together for 23. You have two young sons. When you can't talk to him about anything because he just blows up, deflects, cuts me off, talks over me, I'm afraid to tell him how I feel about numerous things he has done to hurt me, and now I'm resentful and just don't want to be around him. He is also a massive weed smoker who spends 90% of his time in the shed smoking and watching his iPad. I'm certain he is a narcissist and I feel so taken advantage of and running the house and caring for our kids. We don't own a house, have no savings. Weed comes first, and I feel if we are going nowhere, I'd rather do it without him because it would be less of an expense and he doesn't do a thing to help me anyway. I am so stuck as to what to do because I am an empath and I feel extremely guilty and bad to break up with him despite me being completely miserable and feeling like nothing more than his maid mother. It is affecting my mental and physical health and I feel stuck. So when it comes to something like this, you're married, I'm going to always encourage you to pray and let the Lord lead you. Um, him doing drugs, that's what I want to call it. That's a very difficult thing to be with. I've never been with like my husband's not a drug abuser or anything like that. And so to be with somebody who abuses drugs and who spends all of y'all's money on drugs, that is not, that's not something that's going to be easy to navigate. And then to, leave and take your two young sons away, that's quite difficult, but, I understand why you don't want to tell them, right? And so if you feel like you are not supposed to be in this city longer, I think they have process servers. You could move out of the home and use a process server to serve him any type of paperwork. um, that needs to be dealt with. But also, what just came to mind is, have you even spoken to him about the fact that you're done? You know, have you given him a chance to correct it? I would like to know more about that part. Let's see if you have anything else you wanted to add with this one. You regret not having seen the real him a long time ago and standing your ground. Yeah, when you like, the thing is, you were hoping. You did what you were supposed to do. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of people who they call you stupid and you feel like you wasted time. But no, you tried. That's your husband. That's not just somebody who you know, okay, we gonna get together. If it don't work, I'm gone. I'm out. That's not what marriage is about. Marriages is about long lasting commitment, about being with each other through thickness and thin, sickness and health, poverty and wealth, the good times and the bad times. That's what marriage is about. It's not about just giving up when something is hard. It's about growing in love. Long suffering. That's what you just endured. Suffering for a long time. That doesn't mean you have to suffer forever, but you're giving that person a long time to change, to see if he'll get better or do better. So that's not something that you should feel ashamed about. Actually feel proud that you tried. You did what a married woman should do. You did what a married man should do. Hallelujah. You should try. Work it out. Work it out. You did good. You did good, okay? And so we're going to go to the next question. Setting and keeping boundaries. Now, this question says, what's a better way to set and maintain boundaries? Should you wait and support someone until they grow into who you know they can be? Or should you seek out exactly what you want in a relationship? Mm. You're asking about dating potential. Let's see exactly what you said. What's a better way to set and keep up boundaries? And do you wait, support someone until they grow into who you know they can be? Or should you seek out exactly what you want in a relationship? You should seek out exactly what you want in a relationship. I mean, because you can't make anybody change, right? You just need to make sure that you become a better person. Don't, don't, because what happens is if you marry that person, you're marrying that person right there, regardless if they change or not. That person who's at the altar, that's the person who you say you want to marry. You ain't marrying somebody who ain't standing at the altar. You marrying him for everything you see right then and there, not for who maybe he possibly can be. Now, I ain't gonna lie, my husband, he did say he saw something in me. There is something in me. Now, he just got the lottery. And everybody ain't gonna hit the lottery now. And so you just gonna be taking a risk with that one. If the Lord tell you to wait on this man, wait on this man. Okay? I'm gonna always encourage y'all to pray and seek God for divine advice. But if you don't believe in God and you don't pray like that, then I would just say don't marry potential. Marry or don't even try to date potential. Unless this person is, you see him for who he is. This is who he is. Not, oh, he might change. No. Okay. No. Because what if he don't want to change? What if he like being exactly who he is? I'm like, hold on, you trying to change me? Uh-uh. Don't date potential or for potential. Date that person for who he is right then and there. Okay. So we are going to almost the last question. It's understanding mixed signals. Um, Uh-oh. What is the question? It says, how can a guy tell you he's not happy and no longer sexually attracted to you, but still tell you he loves you? I mean, okay, let's see if there's anything else with this. You said, how can a guy tell you he's not happy, no longer sexually attracted to you, but still tell you? Okay, that was pretty much it. I mean, that's easy. You don't. Okay, and I'm not trying to like just hear me out, right? You can tell your mom that you love her, right? Okay, or you can tell your son that you love him, right? That doesn't mean you're not. That doesn't mean you're sexually attracted to that person. Just because you love somebody, and I'm sorry, those were kind of like extreme examples, but I just wanted you to know there are different types of love. So your um, guy, he could love you like a friend. It could be platonic, right? He might really enjoy your companionship, just really love you as a friend, but he's not happy romantically with you. He doesn't see you romantically anymore. Like whatever you once did for him, you're not doing it no more. And I'm not talking about like physically doing it, but something in his mind may no longer be connected to you. And he's wanting something romantic, but he just cannot see you in that romantic light anymore. Therefore, he doesn't want the relationship. However, he does still love you, right? He does still care about you. So, that can happen, you know, that can happen. But he needs to stop telling you he loves you. That's one thing about it. If he doesn't want you, if he doesn't want you in that romantic way, he needs to stop telling you that he loves you. And to be honest, you need to stop talking to him because you're going to be talking to him hoping that maybe he might love me, maybe he might want to be with me, maybe he might be sexually attracted to me again if he keeps telling you that. So I would actually stop talking to him if I were you. So the last and final question is, oh, we're doing great on time. Knowing when to give up on your marriage. Oh wow, these married questions. Okay, it says, how do I know when it's time to give up on my marriage? When you've done all you could do. When you have done all you could do. I'm not sure what your husband has done. And so that's a big factor, right? If he's been you know, a cheater who continue to commit infidelity, that's like a no-go. Mm-mm. You don't let too many. Some people actually do stay. Some women, a lot of women stay after their husband done cheated on them, had a baby with them. But at some point, that man don't respect you. You know what I mean? So, but you didn't give me no context. So what is this person doing? Is he gambling? Spending up all your money? Has he neglected? Has he abandoned you? And I don't know what the details are, so I can't tell you when to give up on your marriage. You just gotta pray to God and ask Him for guidance concerning that. All right, you all, those were all of the questions. Thank y'all so much for participating with me on Conversations with Grace. You all, we have done our live therapy session. We're not done with them, but we are transitioning into other things. There is a few things that I want to put up for y'all and remind y'all to go grab it. Go grab it because it's free. It's free and it is here for you. So y'all remember the new workbook that we have. It is managing relationship frustrations. It is free currently. I know it says $2, but it's not $2. It's currently free. So look at the link in the description below and you can grab that very quickly. Also, we have we have here for you all? We have I'm sorry, what is this? I'm trying to show y'all what we got. Oh, sorry. We have managing relationship anxiety. It is a free ebook. Make sure you all go ahead and grab that as well. It's free, y'all. And make sure you check out the Facebook group for the different articles we have. We're going to slow down on the articles so that y'all can catch up on a few things. We're going to slow down on the ebooks. We're going to start dropping one ebook or a workbook, that the free ones, one per month. Okay, y'all. So make sure you stay up to date with everything new that we have. Now, I do want to let you know about our live therapy. Like I said, we're not doing it as much right in this season. However, you still can sign up. So the link to that is in the description below. You can sign up and you can expect to receive an email from me. If you do not get that email, make sure you DM me at Grace Forbes. Sorry, y'all, forgive me. Grace Forbes on Facebook. And so last thing before we leave is I want to tell you about a new story time. This is not just with the audience who needs advice. These are women who go through different things, who have overcome different challenges, and they just have different relationship stories. And that's why we call it story times. It is still Conversations with Grace, but I'm going to show y'all a little clip that I just did with story time with this wonderful, very interesting woman named Nikki Charm. Check it out. So your husband did not mind that you were dating other men?
No, but he was so he ended up dating my best friend. He ended up more in a relationship with her before I ended up in what we ended up putting a title on. Because the guy that I was hanging out with was an old friend who, it was kind of like there was an attraction, things happened, we stayed friends, things continued to happen, but we never put a title on it. And then when we did, it was like, oh shit, we actually have to admit that there's like feelings and all these things involved. And it just happened that way.
Right. So that was it worth it? Holly, was it worth it? And to be honest, a lot of women in the group are interested in knowing about polygamous relationships. Is it worth it? They're just trying to really compromise because they want to stay with the men that they're with. They want to stay with them, so they'll try to put up with anything. But this lady, Miss Nikki, she definitely advises that it's not for everybody. It is not for everybody, and it's definitely not going to make your relationship better, right? It's definitely not going to make your relationship better. You have to be secure in who you are. It's not going to make anything better, right? You're doing this because this is what you want to do. I do not endorse it. However, I did think it was important to let the women in the group hear from someone who personally has gone through things like that, so they can know some of the things that they may end up encountering if they end up going through with something like that. But thank you all so much for participating once again with us for Conversations with Grace. But quick update, y'all. We are not going to be doing any shows on Monday anymore, unless it's just, because we need to do it for that week. However, we will just stick to Thursdays, and I'm going to do a question and answer on every other Thursday, and some Thursdays we're going to have live therapy and then story time. We're just going to rotate it like that, just so everybody can make sure that they can keep up with the dates. We're not trying to confuse anyone. But anyway, thank you all so much once again for your time, and I will see you next week. Bye.